And again, more than likely, this is right on top of downtown Cullman right now. So again, the next call to action, if you were north or east of downtown Cullman, you need to be in a safe place. Clearly, everybody in downtown Cullman has to be in a safe place right now. And if you're north or east of Cullman, you need to be in a safe place as well, because that is a violent, large, dangerous tornado that is coming through the city of Cullman right now, more than likely producing extensive damage. And soon it'll be interesting to see. Again, we're watching the radar feeds, and we want to take that full because that's all that matters. But we'll tell you right now that this thing is going to come right up through downtown Cullman and then continue northeast, Jason. It looks like this one, instead of affecting Holly Pond, will affect the areas north of there. This is Gold Ridge and Fairview and places like that.
Yeah, this is the classic Cullman County path, the Highway 69 path. Based on the high top radar, the circulation ought to be crossing US 31 in a matter of a few seconds. So East Cullman, East Elementary School, out towards St. Bernard, you need to be in a safe place. We are near St. Bernard with this camera. You're looking live at a tornado. You can see those small things. That's debris. That is large debris flying around in a funnel that is approaching downtown Cullman. This could be a devastating tornado moving into the city of Cullman now. It is very large. Based on that image right there, I'd say it's at least a quarter mile wide, if not bigger, maybe a half mile wide. And it seems to be getting stronger. It seems to be getting bigger. So if you're in Cullman, please take our advice and get to a safe place right now. I realize the power is probably out. I'm really surprised we're still able to see this on the camera. But this is just an incredible shot of a tornado moving into the city of Cullman. Right now, there is large debris flying around in it. Don't stand outside and watch this. If you have to, just turn the television up as loud as it can go, and as long as you've got power, you can hear us. And if not, if the power goes out, just give it 10 minutes after the power goes out, and until you know everything has calmed down, until the rain has ended again, then you can go out and check things. It's going to take us a while, too, to understand what kind of damage has been done here.
Yeah, I want to point out, you're going to see this change in character as it comes through the city. You might see a point where you're not going to see this dark-shaped cloud. That doesn't mean that it's not down. This is more than likely a long-track tornado that's going to stay down for a long time. This could be a half mile wide down there at the surface where it's touching the ground. And again, we've seen these multiple vortices from time to time, but that is a large wedge tornado that is coming through downtown Cullman. And again, do not worry about the change in the structure. This thing will probably stay down for a long period of time. So again, we are calling a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman and points north and east. That corridor going up Alabama Highway 69 up toward Joppa and Arab. And as Jason said, that is a very famous tornado corridor. And again, notice how it seems like you don't see the dark wedge down here. It's on the ground. You will notice that we've got a lot of debris down here in the base of this. This tornado is probably only about 5 miles now west of the Skycam site. The Skycam site is on top of the water treatment facility in downtown Cullman. And again, let's go into the bottom of that, Jason. Let's look for debris. We're going to check the bottom of this large tornado, okay? See the debris? We've got debris that's flying around in the base of this violent tornado that's coming through downtown Cullman right now.
And you can see all the different vortices involved with it, how the condensation funnel continues to change. You probably cannot see the entire impact of all the wind here. And again, please do not try to get it's in downtown right now. Look at that. That's pieces of buildings in downtown Cullman flying apart. So again, I cannot stress it enough. Please, if you are northeast of Cullman, take this very seriously. This is a life-threatening emergency in Cullman County, northeast of downtown Cullman for about the next 20 minutes. A tornado is on the ground. We know it's on the ground. We see it. Please take cover immediately.
And again, you can see the debris. What happens, the radar beam will bounce off of these, the shrapnel, if you will. That's called a debris ball. But in this case, we don't need a radar. You're looking at it live. And again, this is coming right through the middle of downtown Cullman. More than likely, it could be crossing US 31 right now. And again, this will be coming out in that general Highway 69 corridor toward Joppa and Arab. We're going to stay with this as long as we can. This is perhaps one of the largest tornadoes we caught on our tower cams over the years. Typically in Alabama, tornadoes are rain-wrapped. And typically you can't see them because of darkness, hills, or terrain. But we actually caught this the minute we first looked at the Skycam shot. And again, remember, I stress, just because you see this thing changing in structure, it's still down. You're going to see it looking different from time to time. of time where it lifts temporarily, but clearly we have debris right down here that is on the ground. And again, this is going to be very close to the Skycam site. So let's pull that thing out just a little bit, Jason, and you can see how...
Just for perspective, James, that tower on the right-hand side of the screen, that's the Channel 52
That's First
tower.
Baptist Church.
That's First
Right.
Baptist Church Coleman. So it is passing
to the right.
over the courthouse right now.
The Coleman County Courthouse sits across the street from First Baptist Church, and that is a low-power TV transmitter in Coleman. And again, this thing is coming right through the middle of downtown Coleman, right near First Baptist Church, right near the Coleman County Courthouse. It will continue moving roughly out Highway 278. Again, this is a tornado emergency, and I think we just lost power.
Just lost it.
All right. If we could double box this, okay, we're going to put me in a box and the tornado in a box, and if we get the power back, we'll go right back to that. But again, that is a freeze frame of a violent tornado that is coming through downtown Coleman right now. All right, and that is moving northeast. The tornado could be very sizable based on what we're seeing on the Skycam. That tornado down at the base could be 1/2 mile wide, potentially. Again, we'll find out later with the storm surveys, but obviously there's been major damage in downtown Coleman from this. And again, that is going to be coming out to the northeast. This is Fairview right here. This is US 278. And again, the circulation is in downtown Coleman moving northeast. And that's Alabama Highway 69 right there. And Jason, this is your world. You grew up in Holly Pond. And Holly Pond took a big hit this morning, but this one again will be passing farther north.
Right. Alabama Highway 69, folks have known that area from Simcoe to Fairview up to Bayleton for years. And this is that classic path that will go from Coleman northeast up through that Highway 69 area. In fact, the tornado may actually be a little bit south of 69 for a while, and then it may wobble back and forth along it. That last image we have is very telltale. You can see those large black specks. That's where we have debris that has been picked up in the funnel and tossed around it. And from one side of that to the other, it may be as much as a solid 1/2 mile wide. So if you're in Fairview, if you're in Berlin, if you are in the northwest side of Holly Pond, up around New Hope, up the Fairview Holly Pond Road, and then up into Bayleton and Birdsong, you need to be in a safe place now. Also along US 278, if you're just north of 278, close to the refuge, which used to be called the East Point Church of God. If you're out in that area, you need to be in a safe place immediately. That's just beyond our Skycam image here. So a large tornado passing on the east side of Coleman. It will pass over the new auto part manufacturing plant, Yataka Industries. It'll come very close to that. In fact, it may be there right now. The radar image you're looking at and the Skycam image is now dated by several minutes. We have a radar image, though, that's dated by just a couple of minutes, and I think we've got a little microphone problem here. Is that my microphone? Or
that was me. I was talking with Alexander here.
Okay.
We're going to re-rack some of that video in just a minute if you missed the tornado. And again, what's happened, the power is...
Your mic just went out.
Okay. My mic, I think, is on. I'm good.
One of us just went out.
Okay, I'm good. The power went out at our Skycam site, and the Skycam site is just east of downtown Coleman at the water treatment facility here on US Highway 278. And again, this is moving in this direction, and we encourage, and I say encourage, we plead that if you are northeast of Coleman from US 278 up through Alabama Highway 69, this whole corridor up to Fairview, Joppa, Arab, north of Holly Pond, Berlin, you need to be in a safe place, because again, what you see down there is what's coming your way. And I don't know if we're going to get power restored. If this thing came right over the water treatment plant, there'll be major damage. And that Skycam might be halfway to Atlanta, Georgia at this point. But again, we wanted to show you that that's what's coming your way. And in just a little bit, we're going to re-rack that video. If you missed the live look at that large tornado coming through downtown Coleman. But again, and the good thing, I say, if there's any good thing here, this is the only okay, this is what it looked like not too long ago. This was live coverage of our Skycam as the tornado was dropping west of downtown Coleman, down around Good Hope, and at that point it was crossing Interstate 65. It continued to strengthen. It became one of these large wedge tornadoes coming right through downtown Coleman. And again, that is the storm that is now in the process of moving in areas north and east of Coleman. We call this a tornado emergency whenever we have a confirmed tornado like that. You don't need anybody to confirm that. You are all looking at it. The world is looking at it. Understand that the tornado is moving northeast, and then ultimately it's going to wind up in Marshall County. But again, everybody in Cullman County that is northeast of the city of Cullman, especially up Highway 69, from Cullman on that stretch up to Fairview and Baileyton and Joppa, you need to be in a safe place. Please, we encourage everybody to take this thing seriously. You know, a lot of times you'll hear in our voice, it's kind of a marginal situation. This is not marginal. This is serious business. And that is a life-threatening tornado that has just come through downtown Cullman. So let's go back to the radar. And again, that's what you're seeing. That was video of the storm as it was coming through downtown Cullman. And again, this is Alabama Highway 69 that comes out of Cullman. And that circulation is back here in the back flank of that storm, moving northeast. This community of Gold Ridge right in here. But again, Simcoe, Fairview, Baileyton, Berlin is right here on Highway 278. But again, Jason, these folks have taken a big hit this morning, and the last thing you want to do is see this coming. But again, this is serious business. You got to respect this.
And we know that power is out in the Holly Pond area up toward Baileyton, Fairview, and Arab. So if you know somebody that's in this area right now, you need to call them and let them know. If you're south of Holly Pond, south of US 278, it's not a problem. If you are north of Holly Pond, northwest of Oak Level, the Walter community and the Oak Level community are right out there close together, about halfway between Berlin and Holly Pond. So from about the tractor company on Highway 278 up toward Fairview and then back over to Baileyton, this is a potentially life-threatening emergency. Now moving across East Cullman County, there will likely be some large hail, some very heavy rain, gusty winds, and then on the back side of this, we have a very visible tornado that has now crossed through Good Hope and Cullman. Cullman County Emergency Management has told us that the tornado actually came across County Road 222 in Good Hope and then came up across South Cullman. So downtown may not have gotten the worst of this. It might have been just a touch south of downtown, closer to the Walmart Supercenter, the Compass Bank, and all those businesses down there, the new Walgreens, the Blockbuster Video area in South Cullman at the intersection of, King Edward Street, Highway 69, and US 31. And a very well-known tornado in this part of the country back in 1988 followed that same path, right up 69. It actually hit the Kmart and took it out, and then destroyed the King Edward Cigar Factory back in January of '88. So this is a very similar path to that. If you were affected in that tornado, you may be affected by this one. The radar image here is a little bit old, so from Berlin to Simcoe to Fairview, this is on top of you right now. And if you are in the Holly Pond School District, Holly Pond School District is huge. It covers a large part of East Cullman County, all the way from Berlin, County Road 747, up 1669 a good ways, the Holly Pond Fairview Road a good ways, about halfway between Holly Pond and Fairview. We need you in cover immediately. This is not a time to stand on the front porch and watch this. You need to take cover as soon as possible and protect yourself from this. Interior closet, bathroom, hallway, lowest floor, a basement, a storm shelter, no mobile homes whatsoever.
While Jason's talking, let's roll some more of that video if you guys have that of the actual tornado back in the back. And again, Jason, I think the important thing we need to remind everybody here, the power's out in a lot of these places. And, you know, we can sit here and talk till we're blue in the face. And I'll say this again, if you know anybody in any place that Jason just called out, call them. There's a good chance you can't get them, but just by golly, maybe you can with a cell phone, because that might be the only way they know that it's coming. So again, this is a tornado emergency for the northeast part of Cullman County. For the city of Cullman, we can give an all clear. The concern now is northeast of Cullman. This thing is rolling right up Highway 69, Fairview and Baileyton. More than likely large hail, maybe the size of golf balls falling up in the hail core of this storm.
And James, let me pass along this message. Just got to note that Pleasant View Baptist Church in Holly Pond. If you're in Holly Pond and you need to take shelter, you've got just a couple of minutes to get there. Pleasant View has a basement. You can go there. They've opened that up as a storm shelter. They have built a brand new facility there for situations like this, and it looks like today is the perfect opportunity to use that. So Pleasant View Baptist Church, just east of Holly Pond on Highway 278, you can go there and take cover.
Again, we are not ignoring any other part of the state. This is the only severe storm in our part of Alabama. There are other tornado warnings in parts of Mississippi and up in the Tennessee Valley, but this is the only storm in our television market that includes Cullman County. And we should point out that the Weather Service has gone ahead and issued, I take it back, we have a new tornado warning for Lamar and Marion. All right, so what we're going to do, let's go off of the image, and let's put me with a radar behind me. This is a new tornado warning for Lamar and Marion counties. It was nice while it lasted. The Cullman County storm will be exiting Cullman County into Marshall County in a matter of minutes. But I think everybody knows the danger there. So now the focus is going to be up here in northwest Alabama for a new supercell storm that is moving out of Mississippi, and there will be many today. But again, this is a very dangerous looking storm. And again, it's the classic look. It doesn't get any more classic than that. Possible tornado signature now just west of the city of Hamilton. If you're watching us in Hamilton, go to a safe place now. That's a small room, lowest floor near the center, away from windows. Nobody should be driving on Interstate 22 or U.S. Highway 78 or Corridor X at this point. And again, that is a very dangerous storm that is coming right up toward downtown Hamilton. So let's go from the Cullman sky cam. Now we have two sky cams in Hamilton. We're very fortunate here. We're going to take a look at both of them, and we're going to see if we can see the same thing. It looks like we get another great shot at this, looking back off to the south and west.
CenturyTel is still out in Hamilton.
Okay.
So I think that we're going to have trouble getting anything from either Skycam.
And this is what we talked about this morning. We have major infrastructure problems here. We have widespread damage from this morning. We have major internet outages, and all of the Skycams are delivered via the internet. So again, at this point, we do not have the Skycam from Hamilton High School or the Skycam at the Stratus Station facility, and that is not good. All right, we've got reports of debris falling out of the sky in Macon, Mississippi.
Oh goodness!
This is again, this is going to be one of these red letter days. We're just going to sit back, take a big deep breath, and we'll get through this thing together. But again, Hamilton, take cover. This new tornado coming out of Mississippi will be moving into Pickens County, and a new tornado warning will be forthcoming for Pickens County within the next 5 to 8 minutes. So again, just to let you know that we have another strong rotation that's coming out of eastern Mississippi, and a tornado warning will be required for Pickens County within the next 5 to 8 minutes. And again, we've got
just got a report, tornado on the ground in Bayleton, a wedge being seen from Fairview. So this is the one in Cullman County is now past Fairview. We got confirmation it's still on the ground, moving toward Bayleton.
Yeah, so again, this is a tornado emergency for the northeast part of Cullman County. Let's put the reflectivity back on this real quick. Just wanted to take a look at the storm structure. This is the storm that's coming up into Pickens County. And again, this will involve a new tornado warning in a matter of minutes for Pickens County. And again, we've had reports of debris falling from the sky. Remember, tornadoes are rotating updraft. Items are picked up and then at some point deposited back. Everything that goes up must come down. So there's a very serious business. And we've got John Brown in Reform. So again, if you are watching us in Pickensville or Aliceville, be ready to go to your safe place in a matter of minutes. Let's go to our Hamilton storm. This is a dangerous storm that could produce a large tornado that is approaching Hamilton. Tremendous lightning output. This is a classic supercell storm. The red triangle is a TVS, a tornado vortex signature. And again, that's your TVS, and that's coming right up toward downtown Hamilton, maybe a little north of there. It's just too close to call. We've got two pendants back at the back of this, and again, the system is suggesting maybe it's the farther back one. It doesn't matter. If you're close to Hamilton, you want to be in a safe place right now. So again, this is Interstate 22. Technically right now it's still U.S. Highway 78 that goes south of Hamilton. That's the major 4-lane through here. Nobody should be driving along Corridor X from the Mississippi State line down to Winfield for the next 30 minutes. And if you are in the city limits of Hamilton or anywhere close to that, you need to be in a safe place right now. This is a storm, and again, unfortunately, because of the internet outage, we do not have available the Skycams in Cullman. We have two of them, but I would tell you if we were looking back at this, we might see the same kind of scene that we saw in Cullman. So that is a tornado warning for Marion County. Specifically, we're concerned about the city of Hamilton. For Lamar County, it's the far northern part, north of Detroit. Now, let's check the Cullman storm, and Jason, looks like that one's about to exit Cullman County, moving up into Marshall.
Right, this is going to be an ARAB situation very soon, but just a minute ago we got the report that there was still a large wedge on the ground near Fairview, moving up toward Bayleton, and look at that supercell. That is just an unbelievably powerful storm. I know a lot of folks watch us in Marshall County, normally on the live stream, But because of the situation that happened, we already had significant damage around Arab and Guntersville, so power's out. So if you know someone in Arab, Guntersville, Scant City, Union Grove, even as far south as Albertville or Nixon Chapel, you need to get them to a safe place right now. North Holly Pond to Bayleton, up to Arab.
Bayleton reports tornado on the ground.
Bayleton tornado on the ground, and I just saw a report that the courthouse did take a direct hit in Coleman. So downtown Coleman, do not try to go into downtown Coleman. In fact, don't go into any of these areas unless you are an emergency responder. Let those guys do their jobs.
No business going into these emergency areas, because all you're doing, you're putting people's lives at risk, the people that need to be rescued, and those first responders. So do not go sightseeing today. Stop now and don't even think about it. So again, we have a tornado that is on the ground near Bayleton, coming up here toward Joppa and Arad. It's about to go into Marshall County. Now, we'll go back to the Hamilton storm. The warning, by the way, the tornado warning for Lamar has been taken out. This storm will not affect Lamar. We have a dangerous storm that is approaching downtown Hamilton. We have a sky watcher, and in fact, multiple sky watchers in Hamilton. One of them reported a wall cloud just west of her location in Hamilton, and she is now headed to the storm cellar. And that's what we teach folks to do. I mean, the storm spotters know what's the dangerous part, what's the safe part. And clearly, if you are in downtown Hamilton, you need to be in a safe place right now. Look right here. That more than likely could be a debris ball right here. And that is coming right down the highway, down toward Hamilton. That's Alabama Highway 17. That's Interstate 22. And it looks like this thing might stay a little west and north of Hamilton. But again, we could have a tornado much like the tornado we saw in Coleman, just west of Hamilton. The tornado impact number is now a 7.5 here. The numbers are not as extreme as the Coleman numbers, but that is very, very significant. And again, you can see based on the radar signature here, that could be perhaps a very significant tornado. Every storm today is capable of producing a violent tornado. This is not the kind of day with the small spin-ups, and you know, we talked about the whack-a-mole thing before, where those are so hard to identify within squall lines. But like we talked about, this is urgent business today. So if we call out the name of your neighborhood or your city or a restaurant or a barn or a farm near you, you need to be in a very safe place. And clearly everybody near Hamilton, especially west and north, needs to be in a safe place. Now down here, you know, you go down Interstate 22, and that's Guin and Winfield. This tornado will be passing well to the north of Guin and well to the north of Winfield. So this will not be affecting that southern part of Marion County. Guin, Winfield, and Guin. This will be affecting Hamilton. Okay, we got the Skycam Guin. All right, let's take a look. This is our Guin Skycam. Now this is going to be a lot farther out than the ones in Hamilton, but again, we're going to look back and see if we can see any evidence. Guin is about 15 miles down the road from Hamilton. Guin was almost wiped out by a violent tornado April 3rd, 1974. That was the super outbreak, the largest outbreak of tornadoes on record in this country. And people that are old enough to remember that, like me, still respect tornadoes so seriously there. And again, I don't think, Jason, we will be able to see it from that distance, but you know, it was surprising. We saw the Coleman tornado from such a great distance. We've got excellent visibility today. These are totally isolated. They're out there by themselves, and they're more like the LP storms you see with these events out in the plain states, the light precipitation storms. But again, we're scanning the Skycam from Guin, which is in Marion County. It's in the southern part of Marion County. And again, I just don't believe we're going to be able to see it from that vantage point. So we'll keep an eye on that. But
a little trouble controlling that.
Yeah, let's go back to the radar. So the storm that produced that large tornado we saw in downtown Coleman on the Skycam, that is exiting Coleman County, moving into Marshall County. Marshall County belongs in the Huntsville television market, so they will be serviced by the Huntsville stations. We will stay on these storms in our market, and for the moment, we just have one. There will be many more this afternoon and this evening, but again, let's go back to the reflectivity. This is velocity, and again, right there is what we've got. That is going to be an extremely violent hook echo signature that is very close to downtown Hamilton. So again, if you are near, in the city limits of Hamilton or near Hamilton, within maybe 5 or 10 miles, especially to the west and north, we encourage everybody to be in a safe place. All right, this is Birmingham or Columbus.
You're using Columbus there.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, it is Birmingham.
Okay.
Let me get to Columbus.
What happens, the beam is a lot higher from Birmingham. We're going to go to Columbus, which is closer, gives us a lower look at that. And again, there you go. That's your tornado right there that is very close to downtown Hamilton. This thing has crossed over Interstate 22, and it's cutting right across the northern part, or maybe very close to downtown Hamilton. And again, due to internet outages from this morning's storms, we do not have access to our 2 sky cams in Hamilton, which is sad. But
And weather radio is out too.
right, yeah.
So if you know someone in this area, call them. Call them in Hamilton, Hackleburg, Bear Creek, anywhere in eastern Marion County that's north of Hamilton, northeast toward Hackleburg up Highway 43. Give them a call. Make sure they know that there is a tornado that may be on the ground. Based on the signatures that we've seen, we have seen substantial damage with the tornado that happened in Coleman a little while ago, and that looks very similar to it. In fact, firefighters in Coleman are now reporting homes completely demolished.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
They're gone.
That's what happens.
We had at least an EF3 tornado out of that, maybe something stronger. And the same thing can happen in Hamilton.
The new tornado warning for Pickens and parts of Tuscaloosa. This is for the storm coming out of eastern Mississippi. So we're going to go down the line. We will bounce between these 2 supercell storms, give them equal time. But again, clearly, if you are in Hamilton or points north or northeast of Hamilton, be in a safe place now. Now, this is your new polygon. Now, the polygon does extend into Tuscaloosa County, but it's going to be a while before it gets there. And more than likely, we got horns going off in Tuscaloosa, the sirens. But again, you can see that this affects Northport and the areas north of Northport. This thing is going to be moving up in this direction. So I'll tell you now, this storm, unless there is a radical right turn, will not be affecting the University of Alabama campus or the city of Tuscaloosa or areas south of the Black Warrior River. This will be affecting the northern part of Tuscaloosa County on the journey. And it's got a long journey. It's got to come all the way through Pickens. This is Pickens County. This is Tuscaloosa County. And again, this thing is wrapped up like a top, and that's crossing the state line. So let's take a closer look at this. And while we're doing that, let's look at the live stream. We've got John Brown and Mike Wilhelm on this one, 2 of our better sky watchers, and these guys are fantastic. They are in Pickens County, and I'll see if I can get a specific location from these guys, but they're moving down in a position to intercept that storm as it moves up into Pickens County. This is a pretty rural part of the state, as you know, so we don't have a wealth of reports or trained spotters down there. But again, on a day like today, with John and Mike and Ashley Brand is out on the field today, by the way, in the Storm Chaser 3340, we're going to be seeing a lot of the live streams, and we'll get a specific location in a moment. Let's go to the radar. Let me just kind of show you what we got here, and as soon as John is close enough to see that, we'll look at the 12.2 on the significant tornado index. We've never seen numbers like this on this system. We've had this system for about 3 years now. But again, this is the storm that is coming up into Pickens County. All right, now this is Aliceville. This is US 82 right here. This is Reform. This is Gordo. Carrollton sits right here. Aliceville sits right here. And that circulation is back in the southwestern flank. So it's still in Mississippi. It looks like it will be crossing the Alabama border probably in about 5 minutes. And again, this is the velocity coming from the Columbus, Mississippi NexRad.
Just got a report of a tornado on the ground near the Hamilton Airport.
I believe that. That's close to town. That's like in the middle of town. So let's go back up to that storm. But again, Pickensville, Aliceville, Carrollton. You want to be in a safe place if you're anywhere close to that. So again, for we've got here's a report of a tornado along Interstate 22 or Corridor X at Hamilton. And again, a tornado is on the ground west of the Marion County Airport. So we're going to call this a tornado emergency for Hamilton, the city of Hamilton. Anybody near Hamilton, specifically in the city limits, you need to be in a safe place. You should have been 15 minutes ago when the warning was issued. But again, we have had train spotters seeing a tornado along Corridor X or Interstate 22 and just west of the Marion County Airport, which sits right here in downtown Hamilton. And again, that circulation is awfully close to town. Keep in mind, this is the Columbus, Mississippi NexRad. The beam is fairly low, but even at that distance, the beam is still off the ground. Radar beams go in a straight line. The Earth curves, so knowing exactly what's underneath that on the ground, sometimes correlating radar data to what's actually on the ground can be somewhat challenging, but it looks like the core of this thing is passed near or just north of downtown Hamilton. Based on the reports we are getting now, and again, here's another report, the EMA reporting a tornado on the ground with this within the last couple of moments. This is a tornado emergency for the city of Hamilton and points north and northeast. Okay, now this is moving northeast up in this direction. And again, we stress, if you're in the southern end of the county, in Ewan or Winfield, this will not affect you at all. There's no need to do anything right now. You might have storms that affect you later, but this storm will not affect you. And I guess on the view in Skycam, we still can't see anything. This is
No, we're so far away from it.
and it's moving away. And that's US 43 coming up toward Hackleburg. And of course, Hackleburg and Bear Creek, everybody, this is the Franklin County line. This is Franklin County, this is Marion County. The clear message here, if you are anywhere close to between Hamilton and Hackleburg, you need to be in a safe place. And again, we stress for those that maybe are new here, we often forget that people do move here, and this is a bewildering concept to them. You need to be in a small room on the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. Nobody should be in a mobile home during a tornado, and nobody should be in a vehicle of any kind, car, truck, bus, or van. In a site-built home, down low, middle, away from windows, and lowest floor. This will be exiting Marion County, moving up into Franklin and Lawrence counties. And in advance of that, the Weather Service in Huntsville has gone ahead and posted warnings for those communities up to the north of there. So again, this is a storm that has multiple reports of a tornado down. And again, that is moving to the northeast. All right, and this is a new tornado warning now. This is another one. This is for a dangerous storm 10 miles west of Sulligent. Okay, this is a separate storm, and it looks like it might be right down there. There it is, all right? So now we have...
Let me get back to Columbus with that.
Yeah, we have a supercell storm that is in northeast Marion County, north of Hamilton. To the south, a new supercell storm that will be affecting northern Lamar County. So this is a tornado warning for northern Lamar and parts of southern Marion. And understand the way this one's going to work, that will be coming right up here towards southern Marion. So this lead storm is approaching Hackleburg, north of Hamilton, moving northeast. That's about to go up into Franklin and Lawrence counties. This will soon be out of our territory, but clearly everybody in Hackleburg and Bear Creek be in a safe place now. This tornado will stay west of Haleyville, but that's about to cross over. Here comes the new one, and again, that one will be affecting northern parts of Lamar County. Detroit is here. This is Sulligent. And then moving over into southern Marion County, and you got Ewan here and Winfield here. So this new storm will be more of a threat to the southern end of Marion County. So again, tornado warning for extreme northeast Marion for this storm exiting the county near Hackleburg, moving up into Franklin and Lawrence. A new tornado warning for this storm that will be approaching Sulligent, Detroit, and then perhaps ultimately areas near Winfield, Ewan, or Brilliant. Now, let's go down to our Pickens County storm. We got 3 we're working. We're about to get 1 off the board, moving up into the Huntsville television market. And again, let's take a look at the live stream. This is crossing the state line. We'll kind of check what we'll watch together, and we'll take a look at the live stream coming from John Brown. And John is going to be intercepting this storm in Pickens County. And understand that this produced apparently a large wedge tornado east of Macon, Mississippi, and there was debris falling from the sky from that tornado. And again, what happens, a tornado is a region of rotating updraft, and large objects are carried up with the updraft, and of course at some point they're deposited back down, and that is the storm that is coming into Pickens County right now. So again, at this point we have a tornado warning for Pickens County, for the possibility of a tornado from this storm that is coming up toward Aliceville. Let's go back to the radar.